Vice Mayor?
Thanks. To start off with tonight, you all may remember that recently the city enacted an ordinance that deals with board and secure properties, nuisance abatement type of ordinance, that permits the city to go on private property after the code enforcement process has run its course, and actually board properties up and clear the lots as necessary and take the cost associated with that effort and place it on the tax bill of the property owner. Okay? I think we pretty much were in position to do that now. Unfortunately, we're strapped for financial resources, so as you may have heard me talk in the past, I'm going to be heading up an effort of volunteers to start tackling some of these homes in my district, specifically over the next couple of weeks. I've spoken with Retha and other members of the community, so I think you'll see an effort coming out of District 1 here in another week or two, where we partner with the city in the sense that the city will put up the materials and we'll put up the manpower, and we're going to start trying to take a bite out of some of the blight here in the city. So I'm looking forward to that. And those of you who are interested in participating, please, by all means, contact me or the city, and let's sign you up and go out and do some good things in the neighborhood. Also, I also sit as a member of the Florida League of Cities Urban Administration Subcommittee, Policy Committee. I'll be traveling to Jacksonville later this week for a day to deal specifically with the issue of, or more specifically with the issue of sober houses. That's an issue that is really starting to become a problem in many of our communities here in South Florida, and it's now, the effects are now being felt statewide. It's a very delicate situation, but it's one that we have to try to find some sort of common ground at the state level to regulate and monitor these sober houses, because in many cases, not all, but I should say in some cases, but not all cases, these sober houses have become a detriment to our neighborhoods. So we'll be spending the day trying to see if we can make that a legislative priority and see if we can't get Tallahassee to start dealing with the issue. Again, it's a sensitive issue. You're talking about folks that are trying to rehab and turn their lives around. They're a protected class by ADA guidelines or whatever, but there should be, and we must find a compromise that these programs the legitimate programs can exist, coexist, if you will, in our neighborhoods without being a disruption. So that's my report.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Commissioner Zerdy?
Sure. I had a good time a couple Saturdays ago when we were at the cleanup. I think there was a lot of folks there that joined Commissioner Amoroso's route there on East Street. So we had wanted to thank Chip Guthrie for having dueling lawnmowers that day out there. We had a couple of big lawnmowers out there. Actually taught Mary Lindsay how to drive one, and so that was a lot of fun. And again, I think there's a dent being made, because we've been to a few of those, and it's not as bad each time that we go back to the same area. So maybe more people were joining in around in the neighborhood, so that's catching on. I know we had a really good time there with the triathlon. It was amazing to watch the professional guys come through, and then it was a lull for a while. And then we really enjoyed the last person who came through at the very end and got cheered on there. And the PBSO was really good. They did a great job also that day. I wanted to mention that. I'm heading up to Gainesville on Friday, a meeting with the University of Florida's planning department up there. We've been doing a little bit of research on some of the value improvements for infrastructure in cities. It's my old alma mater, going up on my own account, and then I have to stay up there for the Tennessee game. So.
Okay.
But it's a really important thing to try to find those correlations. We all know that things do improve when you improve your infrastructure in your city. We're just looking to see if we can put some numbers to this and get some other data. We have folks from the Florida Resilient Cities Initiative. It's a state organization that has some of this research, and they're also working with us, as well as a gentleman out of Rutgers University up there. So we're reaching out to a lot of groups, including the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, who has a meeting this Friday as well. and on the journey north. So there's a lot of people there that will help us figure this out, and I'm looking forward to bringing that information back.
Thank you. Commissioner Amoroso?
I too want to thank everyone who came out for the neighborhood cleanup. Commissioner Maxwell, Commissioner Zerdy, Yolanda, and the kids did a great job. Thank you. We had almost 50 people show up. We had a group from Miami. We had a couple Little Miss Florida pageant winners, and they came out and they have to do their community service so they could go to the next step. So it was a great turnout. I want to thank Palm Beach Post. They had sent out a reporter and a photographer, so we got some great press. Our next one is October 12th. I want to remind you that the Lake Worth Farmers Market starts October 12th at Old Bridge Park. And then on a sad note, I want to send my condolences to the friends and family of Barbara Hall. Barbara Hall was a friend of ours downtown. She lived in the downtown Jewel neighborhood, and she passed away in her sleep Sunday night. So I want to send my condolences out to her and her family.
NPO meeting this week, Mayor's Literacy Luncheon coming up. We're going to have an opportunity. Last year we didn't hear about it until the very end. So I want to make a challenge here to my fellow commissioners. We're going to have a chance to read to kids in our area schools. So if you know any teachers at North Grade, South Grade, Barton, anywhere, any other school, the elementary school level.
Daycare centers?
Daycare centers, anywhere. If you know anyone that you want to start booking the talent early, okay? You got Vice Mayor, he's willing, I'm sure. Commissioner McVoy will volunteer him while he's not here. He's up for it. Myself, of course, and my fellow Commissioners Zerdy and Amoroso. So if you want to get us out there on reading day, we've got a book. In fact, we're going tomorrow to get the books that we can bring to the schools and read for the kids. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Talk Like a Pirate Day. Thursday, September 19th, we're going to have a really special story time at our local, lovable, wonderful library. And is it going to be at the Annex meeting room, or is it going to be in the library? If I was in the library. It's in the library? Okay, it says both on this flyer.
There'll be signs.
There'll be signs, follow the signs, but something great for the kids, so please bring them there. Especially kids ages 6 to 12, we'll have story time for them, so come on out and enjoy. Alrighty, public participation of non-agenda items.